Hello and welcome to Best Self Yoga, a practice for K-12 educators. My name is Lindsay and I'm a teacher here in Southern Oregon. Best Self Yoga is inspired by the principles from the book Teach from Your Best Self, a teacher's guide to thriving in the classroom, written by my good friend Jay Schroeder. If you'd like to learn more about Teach from Your Best Self and Jay's mission, you can see the links in the description below. If you enjoy this practice and would like to see more Best Self Yoga, please like and subscribe. But in the meantime, I'll meet you on the mat in a comfortable seat of your choice. We're going to come into stillness to start today. Bringing our attention to our mind, noticing our thoughts. We can think of our thoughts as the sensations of our brain. And just like our other bodily sensations, they come and they go. Shifting our attention now to our breath. Noticing its rhythm, its pace. Noticing that even in stillness, our breath is creating this movement in our bodies. Bringing our attention now to our heartbeat. And noticing that even if we hold our breath, our heart is pumping our blood, our oxygen. Our heart song. On page 49, Jay writes, "We participate in the creation of culture, while culture participates in the creation of us." Today's practice is inspired by this sentence that, for me, paints this picture of wholeness and balance as we think of the idea of co-creating culture with students and staff. So we're going to use some of this balance in our bodies, coming into a sukhasana, letting our legs get heavy as we inhale. And imagine this upward energy pulling your navel into your spine, while at the same time imagining scooping your tailbone into your mat, creating some stability in our seat. Continuing this journey, bringing a lift in our chest, while at the same time allowing our elbows to get heavy and pull those shoulders away from our ears. Imagine this energy shooting out the right side of your body, pulling your shoulder to the right. While at the same time imagining this energy on the left, pulling your shoulder out towards the left side of your body. And as our shoulders are sending energy outward, our shoulder blades are squeezing in towards our spine, balancing those opposing forces. Finally, with our tailbone anchored into our mat, imagine our tailbone being connected to the center of the earth, grounded there, while at the same time imagining a string pulling us up towards the sky from the crown of our head, inhaling, reaching for the sky. Imagining creating space between each vertebrae as you inhale to look up. Exhale, letting your hands fall in your lap, keeping that strength in your spine, noticing how you feel here. With this strength and stability in our seat, we're going to find some soft movement with shoulder rolls back and forth. You choose the movement. Maybe moving your neck around a little bit. When you feel good with that, coming back to our seat, we're going to inhale and reach this left arm up and over, maintaining that connection with our mat, enjoying this stretch all the way from our fingertips down to the sides of our glute. So schools are places where many cultures and subcultures come together to create a learning environment. Inhaling back to center. And as you exhale, reaching over to the other side, maintaining that foundation with your seat. And that culture is ever changing, assessing, reinforcing. Inhaling back to center, maybe looking up at the sky. Exhaling, bringing our palms together. Maybe stopping at our heart just for a moment. We're going to place our hands on our lap. I like to start with my hands on my knees as we're going to do a seated cat-cow. You can move your hands to wherever feels best in your body. So on your next inhale, we're going to round our spine, shining our chest towards the front of the room, sending our gaze up towards the sky, thinking cow pose here. And as you exhale, rounding through, bringing that navel in towards your spine, letting your head hang. Using your hands and knees together to create stability so you can enjoy that stretch in your shoulders. Continuing with your own breath, moving through a cat-cow in your seat. When students and teachers are co-creating culture, sometimes they must do so in opposition. An ever-flowing negotiation. Inhaling, coming back to your seat. We're going to come into a twist. So inhaling, reaching for the sky. Exhaling, gentle twist to the left. Nice long spine. This right hand working with this left leg to enhance my twist, if that's what feels good today. Today's theme is balancing forces. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, gentle twist to the right. In our practice today, we are going to balance the energy and the forces in our body to create more stability, to find some grace in that strength. Inhaling back to center, maybe looking up at the sky. Exhaling, bringing those palms together, bringing those palms to your heart. Inhaling here. Exhaling, maybe lowering your chin to your chest. When we create a balanced foundation in our body, we are better able to respond with creativity. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, just bringing your hands underneath your legs as you close them up, coming into tabletop position. Shaking those hips a little left to right. Planting your palms, pushing into the tops of your feet. Our knees are just under our hips, our wrists underneath our shoulders as we slightly tuck our tailbone under. Coming into a nice, strong tabletop. From here, we're going to try to continue to hold on to this strength and stability as we create the figure 8 with our hips. So thinking about moving my hips to the right and then pulling my navel in towards my spine as I move to send my hips out to the left. Pulling your navel in, nice. Maybe adding the breath. So we're inhaling as we're sending our hips to the left. Exhaling as we're pulling our navel in towards our spine. Inhaling, sending our hips to the right. Exhaling. We're going to switch directions. Maybe coming up and giving a little wrist twist. I don't know. Letting your wrists get a little relaxation and movement. Coming back into our strong tabletop position. Now we're going to reverse our directions. So sending our hips in towards the right elbow and then out. Pulling our navel in, sending that left hip towards the left elbow and out. Adding the breath. If this is hard for your brain, it's hard for mine too. Good job. We're going to bring our big toes into touch, take our knees as wide as the mat as we send our hips back, coming into extended child's pose. Letting your body melt into the earth. Balancing forces while co-creating culture with students means believing and navigating from a place where each of us benefits when both of us benefit. Assessing the needs of the group as well as the needs of the individual. Creating a safer learning environment together. We're going to inhale to look forward. Exhale, coming through back to our tabletop position. Walking those hands forward, keeping our feet pressed into the tops of our mat, hips over our knees as we come into puppy posture. This is getting me excited for our down dog. Inhaling to look forward. Exhaling, coming through to Sphinx pose. Still pushing into the tops of those feet, pushing into that pelvic bone. Elbows are underneath our shoulders. Chin is parallel to the earth. Sphinx pose. Inhale here. Exhale, taking a gaze over that left shoulder. No pain here, easing up if that's what you need. Inhaling back to center. As we exhale, looking over that right shoulder. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, making a little pillow with your hands, shaking those hips left to right. Bringing your big toes to touch, hip or heels, sending out to the sides. For our practice today, you have an invitation to get curious about the energies in your body, about opposing forces working together to create a whole posture. You're going to inhale to look forward. Exhale, slide your palms just underneath your shoulders, bringing your forehead back down to the mat. And we're going to come into a cobra. Inhale. And exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale. Option to continue with your breath up and down, or joining me as you inhale, coming into baby cobra. Holding here as you lift those legs. Maybe reaching back, lifting those arms. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that soft movement like a boat. And then letting it all go. Bringing your palms under your shoulders as you curl your toes under, coming into a downward facing dog. Pedaling it out here. Hi, CJ. Finding stillness, thinking about rooting in through those palms, rooting in through those toes. As you imagine a string pulling those hips up towards the sky. And when you're ready, just slowly walking it up towards the top of your mat. Inhaling and exhaling, forward fold. Slowly rolling up. Breathing into that spine, that space you created. As we stack each vertebrae, nice and slow. Coming to our feet, taking any movement here before we come into a nice strong mountain pose. So coming into our mountain pose, our feet are hip width apart. I'm going to put my hands on my hips, pushing into all four corners of my feet, lifting all 10 toes to help me find that connection, and lowering those toes, bending my knees, tucking my tailbone under, engaging those glutes as we stand up nice and tall, lifting my chest, rolling those shoulders back. That string still pulling up through the crown of your head, rooting down through all four corners of your feet. Engaging those glutes as we tuck the tailbone under. Lifting our kneecaps. Sending energy out through our fingertips. Nice, strong Tadasana. We're going to inhale and come into a chair pose. So sending our hands to about a 45-degree angle, sending those hips back, trying to find the balance here to create the ease as we hold chair pose here for one more breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Planting those palms, stepping your feet back. Coming into knees, chest, chin, and cobra. Meeting in a downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bending the left knee, bringing it in behind the left hand, lowering that right knee down. I'm going to slide my right big toe straight back to the short side of my mat, planting that foot as I inhale, rising up. Inhale to look up towards the sky. Exhaling, twisting to the left over that bent knee. Wide arm twist. Sending energy out those fingertips. Maybe taking this right hand to help find that twist with that left leg. Inhale to look back at that left hand. Exhale, coming back through, planting those palms, uncurling your toes, stepping it back, knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Nice job. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So with your next inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bending that right knee, stepping the right foot just behind the right hand, lowering that left knee, sliding that big toe back to the short side of my mat, inhaling, rising up. Inhale to look up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Nice wide arm twist. Maybe using these opposing forces to help you find more stability in that twist. Inhaling to look back at that right hand. Exhaling to bring those palms back to your mat. Uncurling those back toes. Knees, chest, chin. Downward facing dog. Making your way up to the top of the mat, nice and slow. Forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Coming into that chair pose. Nice strong Tadasana as you exhale. Grounding here. Adding on, we're going to go ahead, come into that chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Planting those palms, stepping it back. This time, option to find a chaturanga, to up dog, and then meet in downward facing dog. Very good. Inhale, lifting the left leg up. Exhale, bending that left knee, stepping it through, lowering that right knee. Inhale, rising up. Inhale to look up at the sky. This time as you exhale, bringing those palms together to your chest, letting those shoulders fall away from your ears. We're going to come into a lunge twist. So we're going to take this right elbow and we're going to bring it to the outer side of this left leg. So inhaling, coming up and over that right leg, pushing that left leg, pushing that right elbow into your left leg, finding that stability, maybe pushing your palms into each other. Option to uncurl the back toes. Lunge twist. Good job. Inhale to look forward and plant your palms. Stepping that left foot back. You choose your flow. Meeting in down dog. This time leading with that right leg. Inhale. And exhale, bending that right knee, planting your foot, lowering the left. Rising up. Inhale to look up. Exhale, bringing those palms together, hands to heart. Pulling those shoulders away from your ears. With your next inhale, bringing that left elbow to the outside of that right leg. Coming into that twist. Pushing your palms together. Uncurling those back toes. Nice work. Inhale here. Exhale, turning to plant the palm, stepping it back. Find your flow. Coming into downward facing dog. And when you're ready, making your way up to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Coming into chair pose. Exhale, nice, strong Tadasana. We're going to change things up just a little bit. So we're going to come into that chair pose. And from that chair pose, we're going to come into a chair twist. So we're going to inhale, coming into chair pose. This time as we exhale, we're going to bring those palms together towards our chest. Inhaling, bringing that right elbow up and over. Coming into a chair twist. We're going to send our weight into that left foot as we step that right foot back into a lunge. So we can go about halfway and then all the way. Wow. Challenging. Maybe inhaling here to spread those arms wide. Option to lower that back knee. Inhaling, coming up to a high lunge as a transition. Exhaling, coming into a nice warrior two. Left knee is over that left ankle. Balancing forces here. Shooting energy out both fingertips. String pulling from the crown of our head, tailbone connected to the earth. Inhale to look back at that right hand. Exhale as we come back to plant our palms, stepping the left foot back, finding your flow. Down dog. Nice work. From here, we're going to slowly walk back up to the top of our mat. Coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Coming through to that chair pose. Exhaling. Tadasana, mountain pose. We're going to come into that chair twist on the other side this time. So just checking in with your feet, making sure they're hip width apart. Inhaling, coming into chair pose. Exhaling, bringing those palms in towards your chest. Bringing that left elbow up and over to the outside of that right thigh. Coming into a chair twist. Pushing those palms together to create more stability as we shift our weight into that right foot, sending the left foot back into a lunge, Back knee can be lowered or lifted. As we inhale, spread those arms nice and wide. Exhaling back to center as we rise up to a high lunge, just as a transition, looking up to inhale. Exhaling, coming through to that warrior two. Maybe imagining taking that sweater off, up over your head, plugging those shoulders in. Energy shooting out the fingertips. Nice strong back leg, foot's parallel to the short side of your mat. Inhale to look back at those left fingertips. Exhale to bring it over. Planting those palms, step it back. Last flow. Downward facing dog. Woo, good work. Slowly walking your way up to the top of the mat. Coming into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hand fold. Chair pose. Exhale, hands to your side, mountain pose. Maybe bringing your left palm to your chest, your right over your left. Noticing that influx of energy coursing through your body. We're going to come into a standing balance pose, tree pose. And so there's a few ways to come into this pose, and I'll give you a couple of options. First, we're going to come into Tadasana. So nice, strong connection with your mat. As we stand up, what we're going to do is I'm going to straighten this left leg, really anchoring into that left foot, while at the same time I'm going to lift my right heel. Inhale, and as you exhale, rising up. Tucking my tailbone under slightly. My hips are square to the long side of my mat. I'm going to take my right foot and just bring my heel on to my shin bone. So option number one, tree pose, toes on the mat. My heel is pushing into my shin as my shin is pushing back into my heel, creating strength in the midline. Your next option is to lift that right foot up to your calf, never on your knee. This right hip is opening up, right knee is shooting out towards the short side of your mat, pushing into your calf with your foot, pushing into your foot with your calf, noticing those glutes maybe getting engaged. Last option is to skip over that knee, coming up into that inner thigh. Tree pose here. If you feel ready, using that stability in those legs, maybe growing those branches out wide, maybe closing your eyes. Good job shaking it out. We're going to do the same thing on the other side before we come into our cool down. So hands on your hips, bending those knees. This time rooting in through that right foot as you lift the left heel. You choose which level you want to be at, starting with your heel into your shin, toes on your mat, maybe your calf or inside of your thigh. My hips are square to the long side of my mat. That left knee is shooting out towards the short side of my mat. Using those opposing forces. And when you feel ready, growing your branches out wide. Your breath is moving your upper body while your lower body is grounded. Maybe try closing your eyes. Good work. Shaking it out, coming back to the top of your mat. Inhaling, reaching for the sky. Exhale, going all the way down to that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Planting those palms, stepping it back, lowering the knees. Bringing those knees together, coming into child's pose. Taking a moment here, thanking yourself for your practice today. Taking these lessons from your breath and your body, bringing them with you off the mat. We're going to inhale to look forward. Planting those palms, rising back up to that tabletop position. Inhaling, we're going to lift this right leg, right toes pointing down towards the earth. Maybe extending that left arm and noticing how the extension of the left arm helps you find your center. Inhaling here. Exhaling, planting that left palm, bending the right knee, stepping that right foot to the outside of your right hand, coming into a lizard pose. Option to walk that left knee back to extend the stretch. Maybe curling the back toes under, lifting that back knee. Option to lower down to your elbows. Maybe resting the space between your eyebrows on your thumbs. If that back knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it as you plant your palms. We're going to place this right hand on our right leg as we inhale, twist to the side. Bringing our chest parallel to the long side of our mat. Exhaling, coming back to center. Bringing that right leg back, shaking your hips a little left to right. Inhaling, lifting that left leg up. Left toes pointed down towards your mat. Maybe adding in that right arm. Inhale to look forward. Exhale as you plant the right palm, step the left foot to the outside of that left hand. Your foot's at a 45-degree angle. Maybe scooting that right knee back. Option to curl the toes under, lifting that knee. Maybe we bring our forearms parallel to the mat. Lowering that back knee as we plant the palms. Placing our left hand on our left leg as we inhale and twist our chest towards the left side of our mat. Inhaling and exhaling, coming back towards center, sending that left leg back. Swinging our feet to the left as we come through to a seat. Coming onto our backs, nice and slow, and when you get there, bringing your knees in towards your chest. Maybe rocking a little side to side. I like to use my elbows as little kickstands. Let my legs be a little free. Coming back to stillness here as we inhale, sending the left leg out long. Exhale, maybe bringing this right knee closer to that right shoulder. We're going to inhale, rolling onto our left side. When you get there, retaining your breath to stack your hips. And then as you exhale, looking over that right shoulder, coming into our twist. Using the forces of that right leg and left hand together to enhance the twist. On your next exhale, unwinding, coming back to the center of your mat, bringing those knees back in towards your chest. This time inhaling to send the right leg out long. Exhaling, letting that left knee fall towards the left shoulder. Inhaling to roll onto your right side. Stacking those hips. Exhaling, looking over the left shoulder. Supine twist. On your next exhale, unwinding, coming to your back, centering your hips, bringing those knees in one more time. Inhale. As you exhale, bringing your knee to your nose, nose to your knee. Letting your feet come together and fall to the mat just side by side. On your next exhale, letting those legs open wide, coming into a butterfly. You can make fists with your hands, maybe to just support right under your hips. Inhaling to help those legs close back up. As we exhale and step those feet as wide as our mat, letting our knees fall in towards each other, holding each other up, allowing my legs to relax. Inhaling to spread your legs wide. Exhaling, nice full body stretch. Really taking up space. When you're ready, letting it all go, coming into our final resting pose, Sukhasana. I said Sukhasana, it's Shavasana. Letting our practice settle into our bodies. When forces are balanced, we feel simultaneously grounded, yet light and expansive. Noticing where we need to hold firm for stability, while also noticing where we can relax and yield. Bringing harmony to our hard work. If you have time for a 5 to 10 minute Shavasana, please enjoy it here. I'm going to close out practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.